today we moved on. So tough day yesterday, but today they came back with some energy and ready to get ready for Mississippi State.
Did they give you any feedback, or were they just hearing from you yesterday about that game? How did it?
We watched a lot of tape, and we asked questions on why, what they saw, how it affected them. So it just was a good learning day, Dan, and I think when I watched it, our offense affected our defense, and then we stopped getting up on the ball and pressuring, and they got comfortable, and then we got tighter. So those are things that this young group is going to learn. And I thought Jamie Mercedes pressed a little bit, but that's part of the process, and so as long as we learn from it, we'll be in great shape.
The turnovers, I mean, you've got to get a grip on that.
Absolutely.
What are you seeing that you can correct that might bring that?
Well, I've said this, we're trying to hit a home run, and we just need to hit a base hit, make the easy pass, and we see things. And now you're playing against better athletes, better defenders, and we're seeing a gap, and we're trying to thread a needle, and we don't need that. And we talked a lot about that. It just if there's not an assurance of what we do, just pull it back out. And we have a hard time pulling the ball back out. I don't know why we think that's bad, but we talked a lot about that today. You see it, you throw it. If not, pull it back out. We don't need a home run. We need a base hit.
Nard's has been one of your biggest offenders in this regard. I mean, what do you see that she's doing is it the same thing? Is she making passes she shouldn't make?
Absolutely. I just feel like she, along with we're just trying. We think we've got to make something happen all the time, and we're running the ball. We're pressing. They're going to have three back, so we've got to be really mindful of don't predetermine what we're doing, and we come down and we predetermine and we're going to throw it regardless. We've got to see the defense, and there's nothing wrong. We talked about that. Nothing wrong with pulling the ball back out, and so we're in attack mode. But sometimes we need to get in attack mode and then back off it a little bit.
Did the film show you that a lot of those turnovers, or a good deal of them, were passes that you were trying to get the ball to Russell? Yeah.
Well, to anybody. On the break, we're throwing the ball to kids, and the ball's sailing out of bounds, and that's again, don't if it's not there, don't force it. We're okay if we don't have a fast break every time. We're okay with that. And some were to Russell, some were to the wings, some were on the. It was a variety, and as you see, it was a variety of everybody trying to make things happen, and I get that. I'm going to give that to him because we do play fast. But now we've got to find a happy medium here. We're going to play fast. We don't have anything. Then let's pull out and be deliberate.
Holly, y'all been flirting with this for a while.
Yeah,
actually.
We have. Absolutely.
A fast start and then pump the brakes and sort of cruise into the finish line. Obviously, you don't want a loss, and not a loss on that stage. But do they get the message now that, hey, that way's not going to work? It's going to bite you big time if you keep that up?
Well, we've got to understand. We got to go with what got you there. And to use Notre Dame as an example, it was our defensive pressure, which led us to easy baskets, which led us to get out to a great start. And then we got comfortable and didn't want to defend. And we can't do that. You got to. The score is not indicative of the game. People are going to make runs, and we've got to stay down and do what got us there. And that's be solid on the defensive end and make sure we secure the boards.
What is your best defensive alignment right now? If you had to go out there and say, we got to get a stop, are you better zone? Are you better man? Where are you at
right now? I think right now it'd be man, but it depends on who we're playing, and it depends what group is in. But I would go with our man first. But for me, it depends on the situation and who's hot and who's not.
You've had some good defensive games. Your numbers have been decent. I mean, so when you have games where it's not good, what is it? Just an effort thing, or was there some confusion in terms of what you were doing the other night, or not?
Honestly, I don't have maybe lack of focus, concern that the last play we had is affecting our next play, and we've been really good at refocusing and focusing on the next play. But I saw us really getting affected by what just happened. we've really got to get back to where we understand, you know, this happened. Now I got to get back and do what I can do to get a stop.
Holly, it seems like you guys early on established Mercedes really well.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it just kind of drifts off. What is the reason? Have you established a reason for that? Is it the defensive pressure different, or is it just, you know, just kind of lose track of it?
I think teams adjust to it. They're going to make us have to. They're going to make us have to beat them, not going through Mercedes, as I would, and they're, you know, they're more physical on her. She's got to move around. They can't get her the ball. They're doubling her. They're putting 3 people down, and so we've got to find her a little bit better ways to get the opportunity to score, and then she's got to continue to work hard. And she's done a great job, but Notre Dame had a great adjustment. We started not hitting from the outside, and they just kept packing it in on Mercedes, and until you hit an outside shot, that's what teams are going to do.
Can you pull her away from the basket, because she's got a little bit more range?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Is that an option that might be considered?
Yes, it is an option. It is an option, because she's very consistent at the elbow jumper and moving around. She's an excellent ball handler for her size. So yeah, we can move her around a lot.
Holly, Mississippi State national runner-up last year and lost some key players, but
Yeah.
you could make an argument they might be as good or if not better
yeah.
this year with the fact that Vivian's is so much more efficient so far this year. McCowan's a year older. Can you sort of talk about going into that matchup with them?
Yeah, I think they're more efficient. I really do. I think each kid on their team right now is playing their role, and they're doing it really, really well. And I think what helped, he's moved Vivian's to the 4. That allows him to put another quicker guard out, another shooter. So they are solid in every position. Solid. They're great defenders, and they're smart on the offensive end. They've got 3-point shooters, they've got penetrators, and they've got just an anchor inside. So I think it's his best team that he's had at Mississippi State.
Having Mississippi State right after this game, I imagine
Yeah.
you wouldn't have set the schedule up this way if you had the choice, but I imagine it gives you an opportunity for quick redemption. You can't really afford
Yeah.
to feel sorry for yourselves.
No, I think it's a great timing for us. Win or loss, and especially, coming off the loss, we understand we got to get a little bit more focused. We've got to tune in. We've got to stick to our game plan, and I'm okay with the game being now. We understand. We've seen them. We've watched them. Our kids have watched Mississippi State. Have a tremendous amount of respect for them. So, know it's a challenge, but I couldn't think of a better time to play than after a really bad loss for us.
Especially if you're young kids. You had 3 road games
Yeah.
in pretty energized, actually very energized
Absolutely.
environments. Does that help in terms of energizing their batteries to be back home after that?
It does. You can simulate that, and we were in 3 tough environments. For the most part, they handled. I thought Notre Dame got to us, so I think they're happy to be home, and it's a learning process for these freshmen. We're going against now better athletes, people that know what they do. It's no longer Renaya Davis is a secret or any of those kids. So we've got to really be on point and focus in and be a part of this team. It's going to do nothing but help these freshmen. That environment, who we're playing, what they need to do, they've had to grow up really, really quickly this year.
Do you feel like in terms of the team's toughness, you can take a cue from Notre Dame? I mean, they bounced back from that Louisville game, and they kind of mentioned that game afterwards as kind of being in their heads when they were rallying against you guys.
Well, we've been a really good team of answering people's runs. We didn't at Notre Dame, but this team is for the most part been really good at. This is over, win or loss. Now we got to focus in on this team, and that's what I think's made this team really, really, really special. They haven't really zoomed in on what happened. God, we had a great win, now we got to get refocused, or we had a bad loss, we got to get refocused. They've really dialed in, and that's what I think why this team has been a special team for us.
Coach Mimi got flattened on that screen.
Yeah.
What's her status right now? Is she okay?
Yeah, her little pride got hurt probably a little bit, but she's good. She's good. And that was a legal screen.
Yeah, who
That was
didn't call
legal.
it out for her?
Yeah, because we were running down the floor, but I thought Mimi hung tough. I thought she had a tough game, and she got back up. I wanted to get back up a little quicker, but I didn't run into the screen.
Kara Lawson said there's a special place in hell for teammates who don't call out a blind screen. That's what she said on the air.
I good for her saying that on the air. I agree with her. It's you're in the heat of the game. I'm telling you to get up, put pressure, and then somebody hits you on the blind side. It's not very. It doesn't feel very good. So you just flip it and say, you get on the ball and let Mimi's man set a screen and her not say anything. So that'll cure that real quick.
You said at South Carolina that this team is pretty even keel. They weren't letting emotion, get to them after that A&M loss. In some ways, is this also good that they don't get too down?
Yeah, great question. I think after we watched film, I think a lot of them kind of wore their feelings on their sleeve. I don't think they realized exactly how we got to the point we did, and once we saw it, they're like, oh, wow. And actually, I let them sulk for the day. We had a pretty hard practice, and some of them struggled a little bit, but today they bounced back, and we had a great prep, and that's what it's all about, and they have been. They've been really good at moving on, and that one stung, and I get it. It stung with me, and I told the group, we're going to talk about Notre Dame today, we're going to fix it, and then tomorrow we're not bringing them back up, and that's what we've done.
So that was Friday, you had that film session then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Holly, what have you seen from McCowan? I mean, just obviously the numbers are, but what have you seen specifically when you watched it where she's really grown?
Well, I think, number one, she's in better shape. Number two, they're looking for her more. Number three, she's really, really physical. So she's a tough kid to guard, and then she keeps the ball up, and she's 6'7", so it's a difficult guard. So Mercedes and she's going to have to do her job and try to keep her off the board. She's become a really, really good offensive rebounder. So I think she's an anchor for that group. She allows the guards on the outside to play freely and penetrate and shoot because they know they have somebody to clean them up inside.
How's Mercedes generally responded? Because she doesn't play a lot of people as bigger than her.
Yeah.
Those true centers. There's times when she's probably going against more of the power four that swings up to center. How in general does she like those challenges?
I think she plays better with she matches up people her height, because when they're smaller they kind of get up under her, they crowd her, and if you're a post player and somebody smaller gets it, you're a little hesitant to jump and move. So I think Mercedes has had some of her best games when she's gone against people her size. I really do.
Mississippi State, I think, has forced more turnovers than anybody in the SEC other than Auburn. What is it about their defense that's enabled them to kind of thrive on?
That's frightening for us. They get after you. They get after you. You better protect the ball, and great on-ball pressure, great denial. So we've really, really, really got to be sharp and see the whole court and not predetermine what we do. A lot of times our turnovers are predetermined, and hey, people scout us. They know what we're going to do. That's why you got to play the game. You got to play, getting your concepts, and you got to make your plays, but then you also got to take what they give you.
Holly, the 2017 freshman class, obviously very talented. I've been watching box scores all season. Some of them are barely seeing the floor, which happens with freshmen.
Right.
2 minutes, 4 minutes. You guys have got 3 of them hitting 25, 28 minutes a game. Does that speak to how well they've adjusted? And then also, do you have to sort of remember they're freshmen and they're going to make mistakes?
Well, they're not fresh in my eyes. They're not freshmen anymore, and it does. They are playing a lot of minutes because we need them to play minutes, and that's how we got these kids. We didn't promise them they're going to start, but you're going to play a lot because we don't have a lot of guards. And if you look across the country, some of the freshmen are sitting. They got great players playing in front of them. Take Texas. They've got those 2 kids that were 2, 3 in the country recruited, but they're also playing behind Ariel Atkins, who is unbelievable. She's awesome, and then Brooke McCarty, who's unbelievable. So those kids are. I'm using them as an example. They're playing behind just pro players, WNBA pro players. Atkins is. They better be. See, they need to learn from them. That's what's great. If they can really focus in on, I'm sitting here and learning. It's like Cassie. She's learning behind Mercedes. Because when Mercedes leaves, Cassie's minutes are going to jump sky high. So she needs to absorb everything she can from Mercedes Russell, as should all those kids. And it's not a guarantee. Those rankings don't, you got to prove yourself. And if you're ranked 2 and don't get it done, you're not going to play.
That's an ideal situation, isn't it? Having freshmen that can learn behind upperclassmen.
Absolutely.
And you guys don't have that luxury right now.
No, we don't. No, we don't. And so they've learned by being on the floor. But a kid, look, it takes this day and time, it takes a tough kid, a team player to sit there and be willing to learn. Because if you don't, they can cause problems because they can say, why aren't I playing? And my answer is, we're here, coaches, we want to win. So if you're getting the job done and you're playing better than somebody ahead of you, we're going to play you. We're going to play you. Or you just learn, you may need to learn, and that's okay. That's okay.
Thank you very much.
All right?
You could do it.